90 minutes has led to this. It's time for the final word.
Well, you gonna do it or not? Dismiss.
Only on the Sports Source.
All right, you're not dismissed quite yet. We are going to do it. We're going to do the Cavaliers line, play the Beat the House segment here today as we talk Tennessee, Texas A&M. This segment brought to you by Rusty Wallace Kia on Callahan Drive. New vehicles, including the Tellurides, the K5s, the Seltos, and more. Used vehicles of all makes and models, plus A1 service department. Now, I have bought 5 vehicles in a row from Rusty Wallace Kia right there on Callahan Drive. 5 in a row. I've never done that anywhere else in my life. And one of the big reasons I keep going back is their service department. It is fantastic. They have a great crew down there. Rusty Wallace Kia of Knoxville. I can't say enough good things about them. You don't keep going back and making big purchases if you don't like them. I like them. Rusty Wallace Kia of Knoxville. Okay, time to close things out with our Beat the House segment. Over at the Wipey board, we have Mr. Cavaliers. That's not a Wipey board. We have him standing in front of the casino.
The Chuck E. Casino.
Yeah, the casino's back there behind that glass. That's what that is. But we let these guys wager imaginary money, and the caps are off. I've been limiting everything to $200 bets. We're in November, so now we can bet as much. Anything you have, you can bet it.
Let's take a look at the standings
before. Let's take a look at the standings before we get into the picks. There we go. Jimmy made $200 on everybody last week. He climbed into first place. He's tied with Will at $600. Daniel Hood, David Ubben at $500. Me and Sterling are at $300. Josh bringing up the rear at $200. Me, Josh, and Sterling aren't looking so great. The C-Note Casino, after starting cold this year, is now in the green. First time all year, because the rest of us took Tennessee like fools last week. The casino can now pay its light bills. So, Chuck, where are you setting the line for Tennessee, Texas A&M?
Well, I tell you what, to me, this is going to be a scary line to set. You know, if you look at a recent score, Texas A&M 42, Arkansas 31. Does that give you hope maybe that kind of a score you look at? But you look at that Texas A&M offense, I see them scoring at least 40 points. So then how many do you think Tennessee's going to score? So I think we're going to go ahead and do the lose right here.
Probably a good bet.
Probably a good bet. 3:30 game. We're looking at several different angles. I'm going to set the line at 22.5. Come on in, boys. The water's warm.
You didn't do enough for me. I'll go ahead and jump to the front of the line. I'll be wrong here. I'm not going to go all in. I'll put 200 on A&M to cover.
Well, now, all in. You could go all in.
I know I could go all in, but I don't want to some miraculous finish by the Vols and I'm erased for the season. No, I'm not going all in. I got to save 100 back. But I'm putting 200 on A&M, so we'll see. Will Overstreet and Sterling Hinton, what are you doing, boys?
200 on A&M.
Okay, 200 on A&M. Now we see, is Sterling all a showman, or is he going to play like it's real money?
Let me tell you something. That's Willie Ray Cloud. He said that way too fast. I'm still going to power C-Note on the big orange, baby.
Just the C-Note, though. You could have gone all in.
I'm a conservative gambler, man. I'm a conservative gambler.
So in other words, showman. He didn't go with the real money. If that were real money, I don't think that would be his bet. Jimmy Himes, what are you doing here?
300 on A&M.
All right.
I'm up here with the rain cloud.
You've got the big money. You can afford to do it. It's hard for the rest of us to catch up now that you're way ahead. All right, Josh Ward, what are you doing? You've only got 200 to gamble.
Yeah, not a lot left here, John. What's that number? 22 plus points and 12 losses for Tennessee.
Yeah.
And here we are again with that number. 100 on the Vols. Why not?
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Got to catch up somehow. Okay. All right, now, Chuck, if you were gambling, not that you would ever do that. Man's got so many apps on his phone he can't even carry it. What would you do?
I just don't see enough from Tennessee to have confidence, and we were talking with people last night before the game to bet on Tennessee at this point in time, just because of the offense, just because of the second half woes. So, I mean, a game like this, I would look at the total and see what kind of total they put out. But if you had to play it, how can you not play Texas A&M?
And just to be clear, we asked Chuck to set a line that splits the panel as best he can. So that's not. What's funny is how many times he actually nails the line. What do you have a guess as to what it will be, the real line this week?
You know, I would think this would be in that 17.5 range, maybe a little bit more. I mean, I've been surprised. I was really surprised by the Tennessee-Alabama line. When that opened at 19, and I had it at 30.5, and Tennessee wins by 31. So it's not trending in Tennessee as a Tennessee power play. I mean, Texas A&M, this is their best start since 2016. I mean, it's a good football team.
The game is 3:30 ESPN.
3:30.
Keys, turnovers, don't shoot yourself in the foot. I mean, is there anything different other than the usual underdog spiel to say for Tennessee and keys to this game?
I think Tennessee's going to have to run the ball for 200 yards. How about that? And I don't see that happening because A&M's run defense is really good. But I think to protect the quarterback and to try to keep you in the game, you've got to run it effectively. But I don't see that happening.
So tough to win games when item number one is protect your quarterback. Will, Sterling, Keys, any?
Sterling said earlier, COVID for Texas A&M. Is there any way? I mean, that's what you're looking at. A game like this is the only way you win this is a Georgia State versus Tennessee home opener last year, right? They come out, they don't really care about the game, and you get some turnovers, and that's how you win. But they've got to not come to play.
All right. Will Overstreet, Sterling Hinton, Chuck Cavaleras, Josh Ward, Jimmy Himes, thanks to you, thanks to them, thanks to our sponsors. We'll see you right back here next Sunday at 11 a.m.